Alright guys, today we have a 2007 Mazda 3. This is 2.0. What we're gonna do is this car has a front end noise, so every time he hits a bump he hears a lot of noises. Can you move this? We're gonna show them the linkage is bad, so what we're gonna do is you gotta hold it from the bottom. The sway bar linkage has a play in it, and then the shock is no good. And then what we're gonna do is, to begin with the job, we're gonna heat up this the number 14 here for the linkage, and we're gonna remove that. Usually these bolts don't come out, so what we're gonna do is we're not gonna play around with it. We're gonna heat it up, and we're gonna take that out. That's a 14 millimeter, so we're gonna heat that up. Then we're gonna put the impact gun on it. Alright, so he heated up the bolt very good. What we're gonna do is the pry bar. We're gonna put the pry bar in the back like that. So it's gonna put a force, and then I'll put the gun on this, and we'll take that out. So waiting for him to get the pry bar. So usually what we do is we put the pry bar in the back. It forces the linkage forward. That's pretty much holds it for you. And that's it. The bolt comes out. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take out this little retainer back here on the, it's holding this brake cable up, the brake line. So there's two ways. You can either hit it from the back. It's gonna bend if you hit it from the back. So what we're gonna do is, alright, so you tap it a few times and it should come out. Usually you can put a screwdriver from right here and yank it out. You see, it's easy, right? It's looking at me. So you can also do this. And that's it. Once you have that, this line should be nice and free. And it should come out of there. So the shock, it can separate from the shock. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab that, put your hand on it. We're gonna take out this little retainer on the brake. I can't see. And then we're gonna take out this caliper because we're gonna remove the spindle. Hey, you can do that, I don't wanna hurt your hand. The little caps come off, and then we're gonna use this Allen key right here. This is number 7 to remove the it's like a bolt and a pin mechanism on this car. So we want to loosen that, and then there's one on the bottom here, right here. So we're gonna remove both of those, and this caliper should come out. Usually you would turn these pins and they can turn, but you always gotta push them back like that. It's out. Usually gotta push them back a little bit. And then you do the same thing in the bottom. And that's it, it's out. Then the caliper should come out. Let me get down there too. You could use a screwdriver or something to pull these. Usually when they get old.
The bolt in.
Huh? Okay, this bolt is still a little bit in. So I'm gonna just push it back. Push the caliper back. You should just restrict it. There you go. It's out of the way. It's all the way out of the way. So we'll hang this caliper with a small hook. So So we're gonna take that caliper and we're gonna set up this hook for that caliper, so the caliper can just hang there. Just like that. Alright, next we're gonna remove this tie rod. You're gonna take that clip off. And then we're gonna take out the number 17 bolt, this one right here. Now once you have that bolt, what you're gonna do is you're gonna tap this right here, and this tie rod should drop out. Alright, after several hits, this should just drop out just like that. Alright, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna take out we're gonna remove this spindle. So we're gonna take out this bolt here, and we're gonna take the little bolt that holds the ball joint. Alright, so we're gonna take the lower bolt out for the ball joint. And what we can do is we can tap this and it should come out. We'll use a punch. Alright, so what we did was we took out this ball joint from right here. We just hammered it a little bit, put a pry bar right there and pulled it down. Then we took out this bolt in the strut and the spindle. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna have this come out. And once this shock is out, we're gonna put this back and let it sit there on the ball joint, so this spindle can rest there, because we're not gonna remove the axle. This axle is probably jammed up because the opposite side is completely jammed up. Ready? So all you do is move it away from the ball joint a little bit. You just hit it. And it should come out just like that.
Put it one more down.
It's out.
Let me.
Alright, so we have this out, and we're gonna come right back. We're gonna let the spindle sit there. You got it?
Putting it down.
Alright, let me help a little bit. We're gonna let this sit there.
See?
Alright, just wait, hold it there. There you go. So we'll tap this back up a little bit. And that's it. We'll let that spindle sit there. Now we'll bring the car down. We'll take out the bolts from the top of the strut. And then we'll compress it and have this assembly installed. And we'll put the strut back in. And we'll remove these linkages. See that? If you're having a front end noise, it's bad linkages. The car down, what you're gonna do is you're gonna remove these 3 bolts. They're what size? 14?
14.
14 millimeter. So you could loosen all 3 up, and then you could take 2 out, and then leave 1 in so you can grab the strut from the bottom and loosen it by hand, so it doesn't drop on the suspension or on your feet. So we're gonna take a few moments and take those out. two out for the last one, what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn it, and at the same time you're gonna grab in the bottom as he turns on the top, because this is gonna drop now. Alright, so a couple of turns and it should just come down. Alright, so that's it. It's coming down slowly. Alright, so once you have it down, we're gonna show you this little markings here. You can see this little markings here. The strut mount can twist. When you install this, make sure you have this and this. This one I'm not worried about because you can twist it later on, but this one has to face straight to this, so make sure you have that lined up evenly. Got the strut out, and this is a new strut. You always want to match up the strut, the base, and where the brake line sits. So this is about the same. Also, we got the new boots for this, so we're gonna install those new boots. And now we're gonna take this and put it onto this strut machine, and we're gonna compress it. All right, so we got this strut on the machine ready to compress. So what we're gonna do is we gotta line everything nice and straight, and we're gonna compress the strut. Go ahead. So once you have it set up, what you wanna do is you wanna compress this, and once it's compressed enough, this should be able to move on its own, just like that. You see that it's not springless. It's not spring loaded anymore, so we can remove the bolt on the top here, and the strut should just go down. So we took out the bolt from the top here, and the strut is coming out. So that's all you do, is you take out the strut, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna install the new strut. Alright, so we're preparing the shock and the boot and the damper inside. And we're gonna take this up and put this up. Now we got the new strut in there, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna lock this up. And put the light here. So all I did was put the bolt up there. What you want to make sure is this little piece right here, like I was showing her before we took it apart. This has to go face all the way in the bottom where my hand is. Can you see in the back? Down there. So this piece, this groove here, has to face that. And on this end, the shock will sit right here at the edge. At the edge right here. Tighten up the bolt, and we're gonna push the boot up, and that's it. And then we're gonna install it back on the car. We're gonna put this strut in there, and then we're gonna put the 3 bolts up here, and we're gonna get one person will go down there, hold it, and I'll put the bolts up here.
The hole, tell me.
Turn it that way. A little bit this way. Right there. So once you catch a couple of threads on each, and now he can let go of the bottom, and we'll tighten these up. Can I bring the socket?
What's that?
So we're gonna tighten all these bolts, and then we're gonna lift the car up, and we're gonna go down there, and we're gonna work on the bottom. We're gonna finish up putting the hub assembly back together into the strut. It goes on. Now we have this strut in the place, and we have enough play so we can just push it down and get the strut back in there. And in the back, you want to get this piece in the hole in the back, so make sure you have that aligned. and this should go up on its own smoothly. You can put a little bit of grease in if you like. Easy, easy. Look in the back. Is it lined?
No, that was the stop.
Alright, so what we have to do is, if it's not lined, what you can do is you can't hit it. You can't hit it.
No, I'm gonna hit it. You gotta go down a little bit. Move it.
Alright, what we can do is one person hold this short while the other one twists the spindle, and it should go back in place. We're gonna try that while I'm holding the camera. Which way are you going?
This way. You gotta go this. That way.
Alright. So now it's in the spot and it should go straight in there.
What's up?
I think it moved again.
You move again.
Alright, so we're gonna get this in there and then we're gonna lock up that bolt and we'll come right back and complete the rest of the job. We're gonna get this bolt in there, make sure it lines right through the other groove in the middle. And you could tap the bolt a little bit with the hammer. And on the other end, you put the number 15 or 14. Some of them are different. That's for the strut. That's for the shed thing here. And in the back, you put the bolt in just like that. And then you tighten that up, okay? You tighten that up, and then we're gonna work on getting this strut back into place. Tighten that ball joint bolt. Make sure it's nice and tight, just like that. You're gonna hold it from the back with the wrench and tighten it from the impact gun. And now we're gonna try to get this strut in there somehow, some way. And we could do a couple of things. We could put a floor jack in the bottom and push it up. Or what we can do is, if it's loose enough, we can try to yank it up ourselves. And we're gonna try that and we're gonna come back. Let's see if that works. To get that shock strut into the spindle hole, you can do a couple of things. Either you could put a floor jack in the bottom and let it come up on it, or we could use if you have a lift, you can use a stand jack such as this, and we can just force it up. It'll work the same way. So we're gonna set up that jack. The jack's in place. What we're gonna do is, let me put my light up there so we can see better. And one person is gonna lift that jack as I tap this, because what it's gonna need is a little bit of vibration. Go ahead. Keep doing that. So we're gonna keep turning and keep tapping.
A little more.
You don't want to do too much. You want to always check on the hole
Hit it.
to line.
That's it. That's it.
All right, so he thinks he has it in place. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the bolt and we're gonna put the bolt in now. And you should be able to see the bolt come out from this end.
Is that done?
And we'll tighten that now. Once we have it in place. So what we'll do is we'll tighten it from this end. And the bolt should... That's it. And once you're tight, let's say you're done, you can remove this. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this this tie rod in its place, and we're gonna change this linkage for the customer, because you see that? That's a bad linkage. So we're gonna change those, and that's it. And then you could put the brake line back together on this end and put the caliper in together. What you wanna do is now get your caliper, put the brake pad in its place, And you're gonna put the caliper back together. If you need to compress it a little bit, you can compress it. And make sure you pump the brakes. And I want to also say, after all these twists and turns, make sure this line is nice and straight. And now what we can do is we're gonna tighten up the two caliper pin bolts. Make sure you get them in there good. Make sure it's lined. Let me look at it real quick.
Let me see.
Tap it. You tap the back end. No, not that. These are a little tricky. You want to make sure you get thread straight. You want to strip it. Catch the bottom one and then catch the top one before you tighten it. Catch the top one. And once you catch them both, and you can just finish it, tighten them up, and put the little cap that goes on it. Alright, so that's one, and now we're gonna get the bottom one. So and we're gonna take the two caps and put the caps on. These are dust boot caps. Alright, so you got your brakes in, and now we have the little retainer that goes right here on the caliper. We're gonna put that in. This works like a spring. You stick one side in, and the other side you gotta force it in. There you go. And then what you do is you take something and you just impact a little bit. So that's it. And the one more thing that's left is the little clip that holds this brake line in. We're gonna put that in. What are you saying?
Yeah, but this thing, they got it in the washer, right?
Yeah.
This is not going all the way in. These are right for the washer. But this is not finished to go in.
Alright, so we'll clean that up and we'll put that in. So this is the retainer. You want to put this here. And once you have that in there, you're done. And that's how you do struts on a Mazda 2007. Mazda 3. And here's a clip. This is the clip that goes in the top. And you can just tap that a little bit and it should go right in. That's it. That holds the line in place. And we're not gonna finish. We're gonna finish at the links, but we're not gonna record this part. And then don't make sure you don't forget the tie rod. That's very important. And that's it.